Hello and welcome to Green Pass Gaming's last show of the year, our Christmas special, and it's an absolute delight to put on this show for you guys tonight. I'm very excited about tonight's show. We're going to have some fun and games, and we are going to sort through the GPG top 10 list of games of 2021. There's going to probably be some fights along the way as we discard some of our favourites, or people discard them perhaps on our behalf. And it is literally like choosing your children to some degree. So we're going to have some fun delving through this. And hopefully, if we've got enough listeners, what we will actually be doing is we'll be whittling it down to our top 3 games. And we will actually be casting the vote or putting the vote out to you guys in the chat, the live chat. For you guys to actually decide what the top 3 are actually going to look like and in which order. So that's going to be fun. That's coming up later on in the show. We've also got 3 months worth of Game Pass Ultimate to give away, and all you have to do to be in with a chance to win that is just to post in the comments section on today's show, and we will be putting everyone's name into a random name generator, and we'll be choosing a name at random. 2 names actually, and you guys will be winning 3-month Game Pass Ultimate each, and we'll be sending out the code on Twitter DMs. But before we do any of that fantastic stuff, let's introduce everyone for today. And sadly, we are a GPG crew member down today through to poor health, but Scott sadly can't be with us, but we do have the glorious Puxley, my wingman. How about the devil, you, my friend? All good? Looking forward to today's show?
Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you. It's been a little bit of thought between how we're going to do this show, and I think we've got it all sorted now. So, no, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be good fun. And thanks to Boxenberger and Dutch for joining us as well.
Absolutely. Well, let's come on to Boxenberger. Archimedes, thank you very much, my friend, for being here. It's been a little while since you was on the show, but you're always a welcome guest. So thanks for being here, my friend, for the last show of the year. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited for today. This is an awesome idea to narrow the game of the year down. Looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure to be here. You guys are awesome. I really like your show. It's been a great year for you as well. I've seen your channel grow over the year. It's been amazing, and I'm absolutely honored to be on the last show of the year. So thank you for having me.
No worries at all. No, thank you for being here. We'll move on to Wandering Dutch. We'll go in order after his mammoth 24-hour gaming session for a very worthy cause, Macmillan Cancer. Welcome, my friend. How the devil are you? And have you got a spare box of matchsticks to keep your eyelids open with throughout the show?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good.
No, I'm doing well. I'm surprisingly awake considering. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. I'm
fantastic.
Looking forward to getting into it, and it's awesome to be here. It's been a
the first thing you've got to do is get your head around the rules, which aren't massively easy, but I will do my best to explain them. It's in 2 phases, this, so that's cool. And Luke, the third corner of the GPG crew on the show for today. Welcome, my friend. How the devil are you? Are you looking forward to Christmas? Oh, you're on mute. I can't hear you. Oh. There we go.
That should be better. Yes, no, I am. It's been a long week. Very much looking forward to Christmas. Time off, most important, and some time to, I think, wrap up some of the games that are on this list, actually, funnily enough, that I haven't had a chance to do. So that'll be great.
Yeah, no, to be honest, it's going to be great to go through each of these games because it kind of helps us kind of put a framework around how great this year's gaming has been. It's been a fantastic year for games and stuff, and 2022 proves to be even more spectacular in lots of ways. It's a good look back through the year. So, chat, thank you very much for being here. Like I say, a massive shout out to Boardman Gamer for donating both of the 2 lots of 3-month Game Pass Ultimates that we'll be giving away. So, chat, please get involved. Just put your name in the chat. We'll stick it in the hat, and hopefully by the end of the show, Pux will have plucked 2 names out of the hat to give those codes away too. Right. Well, let's get on with the rules for this, shall we? Let's get straight into it. So this is going to be in 2 phases, and the first phase is going to be us whittling this list of games down to 10. Now, each of us, there's 5 of us here. We've all got 1 veto each. So we'll take it in turns, and we will be putting one game that we choose into the shout-out tier that we don't think are actually going to make it into our top 10. If someone puts a game in the shout-out tier that another person disagrees with, they can use their veto and it goes back in the list. And if unfortunately it's chosen again, then it stays in the shout-out tier at that point. And then once we've whittled that list down to 10, we can then start picking them and put them in order of 10, but perhaps I'll come on to that phase as and when. But I think the first thing we need to do is, because we are going to try and make this as fair as possible, we have got a not played list. So I think we perhaps need to go through the games that we haven't played, because we can't really accurately judge these games if we haven't actually played them. So let's quickly go through the list, and I know which ones that I haven't played. I just wonder, has everyone played Chivalry 2? You've actually...
Yes, I have. Yes,
you
I have.
So that can't go in the not played list. Is it a good game? Is it sort of... Have you played it enough to...
No, it's hard to say. I played for like 2 hours, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 3. I don't know, something like that. It didn't really grab me. There was just too much other stuff coming out at the same time, so I had to move on.
This has been a year of that, hasn't it? This has been a year of games stacking up on top of each other. So okay, no, that's fine. So at least someone's played that. Tales of Arise. Has anyone played that? No. I don't think we have. Chat, let us. No, I haven't. So that's the first one on the board. Chat, let us know if you've played Tales of Arise, if it's any good. I think it's got a pretty big following, to be honest. I'm quite surprised none of us have actually played it, and it's in Game Pass. So I'm doubly surprised none of us have played it. But okie doke, Scarlet Nexus. Have any of us played Scarlet Nexus on a similar theme? Luke, you have. Now that's cool. So that stays in there. I know we've played Song of Iron. I certainly know Dutch and Boxenberger have. Age of Empires. I think you've played that, haven't you, Boxenberger?
Yeah,
you have?
I have played enough for all of us.
Yeah. Was there anything else that we hadn't played between us? Hitman 3.
Well, I haven't played Metroid yet.
Right, I know Puck says, and Luke certainly have.
Yeah, I've smashed that game.
You guys have, okay.
I don't think any of us have played Hitman 3. Is that correct?
Nope.
Again, that surprised me. Big franchise, big title, but I think that might be about the games that none of us have played. So we're into games where at least one of us has played. So perhaps Pucks will start with you. And no pressure. I'm driving the mouse, so you're going to have to tell us. So which game out of this list do you think doesn't deserve to be in our top 10?
Doesn't deserve to be in the top 10?
Yeah. So we're going from worst to best, as it were.
Oh, God, okay. I don't think Omno should be there.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just think, in comparison, I don't think it's in the top 10.
Did you complete and play Omno?
I did, yeah. I really enjoyed it. But as I say, it's a very strong list here. I just don't think it's quite... I don't think it can stand up quite enough on its own in comparison.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I played Omno from start to finish. Actually, I really enjoyed it. It's quite a chilled game. Does anyone else play Omno? I think you did, Luke, didn't you? I don't think it's top 10 worthy. Archimedes?
No, I don't think it's top 10.
Yeah,
No,
played it,
definitely not.
but not top 10. Agreed.
Yeah, it's quite a chilled out game, quite relaxed. I quite like some of the animals, because as you play each level, there's kind of a new animal that takes you to the next level, isn't there, and stuff. And
Scott just said that Indy will be pissed.
is Indy on yet? Let's get all the ones we know.
He's here yet.
Get him out of the way first, and then
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get all the ones that are going to piss Indy off out of the way first. Okie doke. Well, that's good. Right, yeah, no, Omno goes into it and stays in the shout-out tier. So it's not necessarily that it's a bad game, I guess. It's just that, like you say, it's not top 10 material, I suppose. So who's next on the list? Archimedes.
The Forgotten City. I haven't played it. I can't judge it, so I wouldn't put it in the top 10, obviously.
Okay, I have played that. I think this came about from a Skyrim mod. Is that correct? Yeah, they actually turned it into a full-blown game, didn't they, Luke? Have you had a chance to play it?
Yeah. I've played a very small bit, but yeah, it's I've not played enough to give judgment on it, but I've heard it's very good, apparently. So I might jump in. It's very narrative driven, isn't it? So
yes, it is. There's a lot of reading. You have to be into your story and your text and your reading and listening to all of the dialogue and stuff. And it's about going around in a lost city, in a forgotten city, and it's a bit of time travel going on there, and you've got to try and work your way back somehow. And it involves talking to a lot of people and trying to find out what's going on and getting back. And again, that's on Game Pass. Dutch, played that? Interested in it? Do you think?
Nope. Not one for me.
Graphically, it's quite pretty. I think it's Series X and S optimized. I think it's worthy of a shout out tier, but certainly not top 10. So no one's going to use their veto on that one then. Go on then, Dutch. What's going next?
Hell Let Loose. I haven't played that either, to be honest.
Ooh. Okay, you've not played that. Well, Pucks and I have played it. We played it quite a lot, haven't we?
We have, yeah. But I don't know. I kind of don't think it's in the top 10, though. Do you?
No, if I'm honest. No, it's not top 10. I've got to be honest. I really love it.
Think about it, though.
Well, yeah, only because I love it so much. I know the majority of people probably wouldn't love Hell Let Loose. It is a World War II sort of war simulator, I suppose you'd call it. Very, very realistic in terms of sort of one shot and you're down and dead and stuff. And huge maps, lots of kind of objectives that you have to go through. I think it's 150 players, I think, something like that. So huge, massive open world type environments. Luke, I'm surprised that's not up your street. Is that not something you'd considered?
No, not really. I've seen it about, but it's just, it doesn't grab me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think because it's multiplayer focused, and you know how I am with multiplayer focused games. Even though it does kind of remind me of Brothers in Arms, which I really loved.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day. So I think I need to try it. I haven't tried it. I need to give it a try.
Well, it was. I don't know if it still is. It was free on PSN.
I've got it.
Cool.
Accessed it, but I haven't actually played it.
Oh, okay. And it has got crossplay on it as well, so obviously you can play that between.
Yeah.
I think if you turn off crossplay, it's just console, so it's Xbox and PlayStations can talk to each other. I think if you turn on crossplay, it's PC as well. Okay, yeah. Let's put that in there then. Hell Let Loose, not a bad shout. I think you're right. I'm certainly not going to waste my veto on that, if I'm honest, as much as I love it. So Luke's next. I'm just going to try and think if I can work out what Luke's going to. In fact, I know what Luke's going to put in there. I think. Let's see if I'm right. Go on.
Yeah. Well, there's no garbage tier. So the closest thing, to it is this, and it's you're already hovering over it. So,
yeah, exactly.
You need to put 12 minutes in there, and then we can get that out of the way quite quickly.
Should we create a bin tier? Let's create a bin tier. Let's have a laugh. So let's add a row above. Yeah. Okay. Bin. It's going in the bin.
Yeah. Because I feel like a disservice to the shout out games already in there, putting 12 minutes in the same area. Because shout out implies some positive, but I don't really think there is for 12 minutes. So let's put it in the bin.
Wow. Yeah. Is anyone going to use their veto to save 12 minutes from the bin? No, I
don't think I am. I think it was one of those games that was so hyped up, and I think a lot of us are really excited for it. But then, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but the general execution just felt way off of what I expected.
But who's guilty of that hype? Because is it us as the community that are guilty of that hype? Because I think between us, we were hyping it, weren't we? I don't know if the developers were pushing it that strong. What do you think, Archimedes? Was you hyped for it, and did you feel let down by it?
I was, I kind of was a little hyped, simply because so many celebrities have actually participated in that game. So I personally thought there has to be something really special about this game, that they get a William Dafoe on it and so on.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it was bad. I was expecting a little bit more out of it. Yeah.
Dutch, what are your feelings on it? You're not going to save it from the bin, so you're happy for Luke to stick it in the bin.
I'm not gonna save it for the bin. To be honest, it didn't capture us as much as I'd hoped it would. It was interesting, but not interesting enough to continue to have my attention for long enough to want to pick it back up. So I'd got like several kind of loops around where you kind of die, and then
Yeah.
okay, right now I know what to do next, and then die, and then okay, now I know what to do next, and then die, and there was several loops around to that, and it completely lost any
Yeah.
interest.
I got a little bit stuck as well, so I had to kind of like a bit like yourself. I was losing kind of momentum and further to play it, and I had to look it up on YouTube. A couple of puzzles I got stuck on, and at that moment, it's just like this is just why am I doing this? I don't know why I'm doing it. Go on, Luke, finish off.
Yeah, no, I think I think for me it was kind of a strange game actually, because I think a lot of people had issues with the mechanics, and how it kind of maybe somewhat tedious. I didn't actually have any problems with that, and I'd say for the first 3 hours or so, I really enjoyed it. Like genuinely, really enjoyed it. However, there is a plot point which is kind of the crux of the whole game, I guess. An M Night Shyamalan style twist, which is so bad, which is so unbelievably bad that it just completely ruined it. It like ruined the experience. So I did finish it. Because I wanted to finish it and see where it went to. But it
Yeah.
was because the game is so narrative led. If its narrative wasn't good, it was always bound to fail.
Yeah.
And fail it did. It was pretty bad. So
No,
yeah, that's
and
why it's there.
I agree with the sort of the plot twist as well. It was a really, I mean, yeah, you could say it was a brave kind of decision or an angle or road to go down, but B, it just didn't kind of work for the game. I don't think there was so
No,
many questions you left asking yourself. It's just
Yeah.
no, in the bin it goes. It is not being saved, and I think we all heartily agree on that one. A little bit let down by that. Okay, I think it's round to me now. So what have we got left? We've got some pretty cool titles on there. I don't think we're into the tier of actually pissing someone off at the moment if I put the wrong one in. So I'm gonna put Outriders in the shout out tier. I think that's the correct thing, personally.
Yeah.
Again, quite a lot of hype around it. It was, I think it was relatively early on in the year, and it was quite a big deal for Microsoft to get this into Game Pass on day one. That was quite a steal, wasn't it? And quite a good thing. Did we all play Outriders? What do we make of it, Pax? Did you play it?
I did, yeah. I didn't play the beta, whatever it was, but I definitely jumped in when it was released on Game Pass, because I know Scott and Luke love those kind of games, and they were hyping it up, so I gave it a go. And I did enjoy it, but only for about an hour or two. But then after that, I mean, I'm not a massive looter shooter fan anyway. The idea of just constantly having to find new stuff and upgrade, and I don't know, there's something about the general flow of that type of game. It just doesn't stick with me for some reason. Because for the most part, outside of that, everything about the game is everything I would like. But it's just the small little mechanics in the genre just don't quite land with me all the way. So I did lose interest, and I did drop off of it. But graphically, I was really impressed with it, and it felt nice to play. But yeah, I agree, it's not in my top 10.
Yeah, Dutch. Did you put many hours into it? Did you complete it?
Yes, I completed it.
You're not going to save it from the shout out tier though.
I'm not going to save it from a shout out to you. No, it was good fun while it lasted, but it wasn't anything that you would write home about. When all said and done.
Yeah.
Archimedes? It was good fun at the time, but considering what we've had throughout the year, it doesn't even get close.
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. Yeah, so perhaps in isolation it was pretty good, but in comparison to everything else that landed, yeah, kind of made it look a bit ordinary, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still battling myself if I should use my veto.
Okay.
But I'm concerned that one of you guys is gonna downvote, outvote Age of Empires 4, and I'll definitely save that one. So I actually enjoyed Outriders. Yeah, it had its problems, especially with the netcode at launch. But I thought it was a fun campaign. I really enjoyed it, playing through it. The endgame wasn't really big at launch. However, when I play through a game in a 20-25 hour campaign that I enjoy, I'm absolutely fine if that's the end for the game. And I really did enjoy what I played with Outriders. So I would put it in my top 10 for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So are you
But,
going to
but
veto that or
yeah,
no?
I'm gonna save my veto.
Yeah.
I
The thing is, I mean, you say it should be in the top 10, but when you look at, some of the games that we've got left, and I'd argue there's probably at least 12 that should be in the top 10, if that makes sense. So it's going to get interesting as we get closer to the top 10. Luke, I know you smashed it out. Did you play it with Scott? I know Scott played it quite a bit as well.
No, I didn't play it with Scott, but I did play it, I think for about 40 hours or so. So well through,
Right, wow.
went through the campaign. And I played probably a good 10, 15 hours of the end game. Yeah, I wouldn't. I totally agree that I don't think it's top 10. But it's a good point that Dutch made in that it came at a time, I think, where there was a bit of a lull of games. And for me, I really like looter shooters if they're done well. I felt that was done quite well. I mean, it's a single player driven one, which is cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my time with it. But I certainly wouldn't put, considering what we've got after that, I wouldn't put.
No. Are you a Borderlands fan, just out of interest?
Funnily enough, no.
Oh,
No,
wow.
but not
The
because
king
of the
of looter
game, not because
shooters.
of the, not because of the gameplay. Because the gameplay is actually really good, but I'm really put off by the tone of that game. It's kind of
Art style or color palette? Or just kind of...
no, more like the
characters.
characters,
the
narrative,
dialogue?
dialogue,
Yeah.
dialogue,
Yeah,
that
I
sort
know
of
what you
thing.
mean.
No issue with color, with the art
Right.
style or the gameplay, both of which I quite like. But it's extremely juvenile to me, I guess,
Yeah.
and it kind of puts me off.
I've got to be honest, I completely agree. I really enjoy playing it, like you said, from a game mechanic point of view, but I do completely agree. When you tune into those voices and they're talking, I just have no connection with them whatsoever. I just want to go shoot some more things.
I was going to say, many moons ago, I used to love Borderlands. Like, I played the hell out of Borderlands 1 and 2, but this one, it just didn't. Like, when I seen it was coming out, it was just like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I've had my time with those games, and it's no longer something that draws me in.
No, fair enough. Okay, well, yeah, Outriders is in the shout-out tier, possibly where it should be. Pucks, how are we doing with the chat? Who have we got in the chat with us tonight?
Oh, we've got quite a few people actually. Pixel Slapper, Mace's here, Judzilla
fantastic.
Music, it's Timmy, Paul AFC, Back from the Dead's here as well. And yeah, that's kind of different names I'm seeing so far. Although we've got 15 people watching us so far. So do you want to do a quick roll call for the competition?
Yeah, well, I'll just let you know about the competition. So, yeah, we've got 3 months worth of Game Pass Ultimate to give away to one lucky listener. All you have to do to be with a chance to win that is just say hi in the chat, get your name on the board in the comments section, and we'll add you to the list, and we'll be plucking out 2 names. We've got 2 lots of 3-month Game Pass to give away tonight, and yeah, good luck. So just say hi in the chat. Don't be shy if you're listening and you haven't stuck your name on the board yet. Get that down, and yeah, we'll see if you're a winner. Okay, where do we get up to? I think you're next, aren't you, Pucks?
It's me, yeah. Outriders was going to be my one to put there.
Right, sorry.
No, so I think The Artful Escape, I don't think is in my top 10.
Ooh. Yee.
I played it, I
Come
did
on,
enjoy it.
come on! I can't wait. Use my veto.
I'm already going to use a veto on that one.
You are vetoing it.
You're going to say
You are
that,
vetoing
you?
it. Okay. Whew, thank you,
Okay,
Dutch.
well, Dutch
Wow,
took a bullet
okay.
for you there. Dutch
Fair
took
enough.
a bullet for you there. So, okay, well that's back out now. If someone else puts that in, someone else can use a veto to get it out, but it is back in the pile to be put back in perhaps at some point as we get close to the rest of the top 10. But go on then, Dutch. Why did you save that?
It's so there's a lot of times as well, specifically in certain games, where the gameplay isn't always necessarily the key focus point on games. Certain games have different aspects that you need to look at them from, and I think The Artful Escape was trying to tell a story through different means. And the way it told that story was really, really great from start to finish. Most definitely it would be up there with one of my indie games of the year.
Oh, wow.
Probably within my, I would say
Okay.
probably my top 15 of games of the year in general, if not top 10.
Well, it was nominated in the Game Awards. So, yeah, it's obviously good enough to have been nominated. I can't remember what it was nominated for. I've got the list. I'll just have a quick look. But yeah.
Music, art style. I mean, this is for me anyway. Music, art style, the should we say the atmosphere of the game, the storytelling. It was just a really good game from start to finish. It was again very basic in terms of gameplay and what you do, but it was just like a fascinating, nice, easy game to go through and a really good story to boot.
Okay, no, that's fine. Well, a little bit of controversy straight away. So, yeah, Pugs,
I've
that's
touched
been
a nerve,
saved.
yeah.
Been saved. Oh, well, Dutch has saved it.
But to be fair, I don't disagree with anything Dutch has said. I completely agree with all of that. It just, again, I'm looking at all the titles across the board and I'm almost, maybe I'm just thinking ahead too far, but it's just not in my top 10 in this list, I don't think.
No,
and that's the only reason why.
Understandable.
But apart from that, I completely agree with what Dutch has said. I went through it all and absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I completed it, and like you say, a different game. You know, it's quite an easy, slow-paced kind of game. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the music, enjoyed the colourful kind of psychedelic visuals. That was kind of cool. Anyone else got anything to add? Go on.
I say Maceco's also jumped in and said Artful Escape was for me maybe top 3 indie games as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
oh yeah,
point.
I agree there 100%. I loved it. The music, everything. It was just a beautiful experience. I mean,
was it an Annapurna?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a beautiful experience. I was so surprised by it. I didn't expect that. It was really good.
Okay, right. Well, there we go. Interesting. Well, it's back on the board. It can be put back into the shout-out tier at some point in the future. If someone else wants to save it, that's up to them. But so, Archimedes. We're starting to get. It's starting to get a little bit difficult, isn't it? Go on. What's next?
Yeah. Oh no, I got a couple of. Returnal goes in the bin.
Oh,
It's going to be the easiest veto of the night.
Right. Okay. Wow. So I will put it in the bin. I will put it in the bin. Where the hell is it? I will put it in the bin, and then I will save it from the bin. Okay. So talk to me about that, Archimedes. You don't like? Have you played it?
I didn't finish it. I played a couple of hours, and as good as the core gameplay mechanics were, I had a real problem with the game not honoring my time. And I am having a problem with if I don't have the feeling a game values the time I put into it, I'm out. And Returnal definitely did that. It is I played too many times where I thought, okay, this was a complete waste of time. And when I talked about that on Twitter, a lot of people came at me and said, oh, you don't get the whole roguelike genre. No, Hades is one of my favorite games. This is I love the genre, but Returnal did a bad job at valuing the gamer's time. Wow. It didn't give a proper progression system. It didn't give proper save points. It just didn't value the time I put into a game. And there are just too many games out there, and I have to judge. When I judge what do I going to play? What am I going to play? Where do I put my time in? I have to say I put the time in those games that actually give me something in return, and Returnal doesn't do that. So
I can feel Luke tugging at the leash. I'm about to let him go.
One last thing I want to say. Usually when I don't like a game, I don't say it's a bad game. I usually phrase it something like the game wasn't for me. I thought this was a bad roguelike. Wow. It wasn't designed well. And I really don't say that often.
No, interesting. So it's a bit of a Marmite game, because I get the feeling this is going to be countered quite strongly by Luke. Go on, Luke. You vetoed it. Tell us why.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it's my game of the year. It still is.
Wow. So we got a bin and a game of the year on the same game.
And I'm under no illusions that it will be the collective game of the year here. But yeah, so I really love roguelikes. And and Hades is amazing. Dead Cells, those kind of games, they're just superb. I do understand to some extent the criticism of Returnal is very, very unforgiving, even in comparison to those games. Right? It doesn't. I think they've now introduced that kind of save system that gives you a bit more leeway of when you die, etc. I disagree that Returnal is a poorly designed game. I think it's deliberately unforgiving. However, it does that for a couple of reasons. I think story reasons are a big part of it in the way that it does it. And I think the way it's not as unforgiving as people think, because it always gives you, I guess, because the progression in Returnal is biome to biome, right? That's how you should see it. And it's getting from one biome to another. And when you conquer one biome, yes, and let's say you get 3 biomes in, yes, you get thrown back to the first biome, but there are always shortcuts to the next biomes, and you can completely bypass a large number of enemies doing those. So it does give you some tools to be able to shorten the run from, say, biome 1 to biome 3, etc. But I think some people like you, Archimedes, like just bounced off it because like it is really unforgiving, and you can get to a run and feel like, okay, I've just put 3 hours into that run and I've got nothing. And then progression system, there is progression in terms of you can unlock stuff for further runs, but that's all randomized. So it's not like Hades where you're building stats upon the things you've done already. But I just thought it was as a gameplay experience, a visual experience, audio, the story, I just thought it was just an amazing game. And I think I finished it. It took me 18 hours. But I did see a lot of people. I mean, I see people to this day, comment on, posts about it, and they're like, "Well, I haven't even got past biome 2." Like it's so difficult for them, and like I think it is a Marmite game in that sense. In terms of some people just really don't think it values the time. I think the opposite. I think it values time greatly, but it just does it in a pretty unforgiving way. It just wants you to get better quite quickly, and if you don't, it can feel like it's really pulverizing you. But maybe I'm a masochist like that. Maybe like the people who really enjoy those type of
Well, you like the Souls
maybe
games and
really,
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think Returnal's any harder than a Souls game. I think actually a lot of Souls games are harder than Returnal.
That's the thing as well. Look, I didn't find it wasn't that I found Souls games difficult. It was that there was literally zero idea as to what you were doing at any one point in Souls games. You'd get to a certain stage where you'd be like, right, bye. Like,
Yeah. I think Returnal is a lot better at that because it's very clear what you're supposed to do. It's like there's one objective, right, and you're progressing through it. And I guess with Souls games, you're right, where you're like, okay, well, there's kind of these different directions, but I don't actually know where I'm going, and like I could go over here, and it's way too difficult.
Or what you're doing. Like in certain Souls games, like even when you speak to the characters, they're just like speaking riddles, and you're like,
yeah.
what help is this?
It's all very abstract Souls in terms of its narrative and like the actual objective and what you're actually doing. And again, I love that, right? But again, I understand the criticism of it and why some people just don't get along with it.
Well,
Returnal's not like that, but it is really hard.
I was not expecting to have, almost Game of the Year from one person and in the bin from someone else. I wasn't expecting those kind of extremes, but there we are. So, wow. Okay,
told you that is going to be a fun and fire episode.
Pistols at dawn, I think. Okay. Excellent. Well, where did we get to? Dutch. So we've got 2 vetoes used. Luke and Dutch have both used their vetoes. So, Dutch, what's next on the list and where does it need to go?
Yeah, out of all of these, I would probably put Art of Rally into the shout-out tier.
Okay. Good little game. I've played it. It's a top-down little rally game. I remember indie gamer playing this a long time back when it was released on PC. And obviously it came to Xbox this year and Game Pass. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did we all play it? Have we all had a go of Art of Rally?
Yeah, I've played it.
Yeah, I've played it.
It's all right, but
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, I
do
get the
much.
feeling it's safe where it is. I don't think that's going back in the pile, is
Yeah.
it? So okay, no, that's fine. Go on then, Luke. What we got next?
Are we still? We're still on shout out, right?
Well, we're just
Or
trying to
just
whittle these
all
down.
bin.
Yeah, so either shout out or in the bin.
Wherever you want to put them.
I'll go. There's so many I could put in either one of these tiers. Actually, I'll go for a shout out one, I think, and I'll put Back for Blood there.
Wow. Okay, so Back
Yeah,
for
I
Blood
agree.
in the
I agree
shout
with
out tier.
I'd agree.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a very good, very well made game. You know, good developer. I don't really like the system in it, but it's okay. And I've not finished it, but I have put a number of hours into it, and I enjoyed my time with it. But it's not a top 10 game.
Yep,
Okay.
agreed.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. It's staying where it is it? Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that was kind of starting to be a bit borderline for me, but I think you're right because, like you say, and doing what Pucks was doing when you start looking at some of the others as well. It's like crikey, we've got fisticuffs coming at some point because we've only got a top 10 slot, so it's going to be interesting. Okay, Pucks, where are we with the chat? I know Shizno Elite posted something. What's he put?
Yeah, I got a quick comment from Shizno Elite. This is regarding Returnal. Shizno Elite says, I haven't played Returnal yet. I will when I get a PS5, but in my opinion, it wouldn't get all of the attention and praise if it wasn't a PlayStation exclusive.
Well, yes and no. I don't know. It's an interesting point. If it was to come to Game Pass, and obviously it never will, but if it were to, would it still? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. Like I say, Luke really likes it. Archimedes really doesn't. So, Okie doke. I'm going to go for one. My next one I think is quite easy, and I'm not going to put it in the bin, but I was disappointed with it, if I'm honest, and that is The Ascent. I was expecting more, I think. I was expecting it to be more enjoyable, I think. I think with the whole cyberpunk thing, I think I struggle with the cyberpunk side of things anyway to start off with, so it's probably never on a good footing with me anyway. And I just didn't really enjoy the gunplay mechanics at all, really. Anyone else want to
I was
counter
the
that?
opposite, actually. I did enjoy the way it played. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
one
me
thing that
too.
got me was just the difficulty spikes. So, like, there'd be just these periods when it
Yeah.
just absolutely jumped, and it felt so impossible. It wasn't even challenging. It was just like punishing you for just not having played enough yet. It was, and that it really put me off to the point I couldn't get past a particular point. I was quite far into the game as well, and I had to stop playing because it pissed me off so much.
Wow. Right.
I did finish it, and I actually enjoyed it really much. I would put it in my top 3 indie games this year, and I would probably even put it in the top 7
Wow.
at least.
okay.
So I actually enjoyed that.
I'm really interested to see if that's in your top 7, what else of these aren't. But that's going to be interesting. Well, we'll come to that in 2 goes time because, that was me. Pucks, you're next. Surely we're getting to the point now. Yeah.
It's kind of tough as well because I'm going to have to pick something I don't think I've really played.
Okay.
I'm at that kind of stage. I'm just trying to see which one is I think is unanimously one that we might agree with.
Okay.
Come on,
although
Chivalry. Gotta go.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to say let's bin Chivalry.
Yeah.
I've never played it. Sounds like you have,
No,
Archimedes.
I haven't. So
No.
Yeah, I have played it. I think it was supposed to go in the bin.
Oh. Is that where you'd put
let's
it,
just bin it.
Archimedes?
Right, Pucks? Well, I would
did
put
say
it in the bin.
I did say bin, but I kind of meant move it up. But you know what? If Archimedes has played it and he bins it, let's just bin it. Let's destroy it forever.
Talk us through it. I mean,
Go
I don't
for
really
it.
know much about it, to be honest, Archimedes. What's it all about? What kind of game is it?
It's a multiplayer game. You play from the first person perspective in the medieval. It's a medieval centered game, yeah. And basically you play these big battles, and the premise actually sounds really fun because we don't have these kind of games that often, yeah, where you play in the Middle Ages, 30 against 30 people, 50 against 50 people. That's a big battle. But the gameplay was kind of clunky.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was really hard to team up. I played with a couple of buddies, and yeah, we just didn't get into it. It was really hard to group on the battlefield to do something together. And then the mechanics are really they not. It felt like you played a game that was released like 10 years ago, not from an optics point of view, but from a gameplay mechanics point of view. It was just didn't feel modern. Yeah.
Well, fair enough.
can
and
I
to
add
be
as
honest,
well?
go
Can
on.
I add as well? Because Scott is in the chat and he's saying that he won't veto, but he'd like a shout out for it at least in his view.
Oh, he
And,
wants it. He wants it upgraded to shout out.
He says we're killing
Okay,
it.
yeah, come on. Then let's do it at
Okay.
least for Scott.
Yeah. Okay. No, I
Go on,
think
Scott, we'll
that's-
give you that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, we'll give you that one.
one.
That's the right
Okay.
thing. Okay. No, fair enough.
He
Okay,
says it
Archimedes.
at least deserves a shout. Sorry, he just finishes off. He says at least deserves a shout out because you can use a fish as a weapon.
Fish.
Okay.
Apparently.
Many games
So, yeah,
you can
there
do
you
that.
go.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. So I can't put Returnal again in the bin, right? That would be kind of
Yeah,
against the rules. No,
Do it until no vetoes are left.
exactly. No, I'm not going to do that. Well, I would put Super Mario 3D World in the shoutout tier.
Okay.
I think I agree.
In it goes.
I think I agree.
Oh, do you?
And the reason for that is I kind of first I'm not a big fan of these really easy cash grabs. I don't think it was a good port. They basically did nothing to enhance that game and just charged me again full price. The second thing is if they do it, please do it with the good Marios and not the ones that are average, you know? Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God! Wow. Killing me right now.
Well, you've got, to be honest, Pucks, you've got a veto, but whether you want to use
no,
it for...
because I'm saving it for what
Yeah,
I think
I am.
also might make it there. So, but I think I kind of agree. I mean, for the most part, yes, it is a port. I never really played much of the original, so I jumped into this mostly for the first time, and I absolutely loved it. And I really liked the Bowser's Fury edition as well. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about it, but I liked it. I thought it was a nice little experiment on Nintendo's part for some sort of open world-ish like Mario elements, even though it was quite small. But yeah, I don't think it's... Again, I'm looking at the rest of what we've got
That's
left
the
to go,
trouble.
and
Yeah.
I can't save it because it's not worthy of the top 10 spot in comparison with everything else we have.
Yeah, agree. I think that it's not a bad game. I mean, I don't think a bad Mario game has ever been made. It's really, I'm playing through Mario Odyssey again right now with my son. He's 5 now, and we're kind of playing through it together. And that game is so well designed. When I compare that to the quality of Super Mario 3D World, it just isn't the same. Yeah, and so yeah, that's why it's a shout out and
Right.
not top 10.
Okay, well, that's interesting because we've still got another 7 games we have to whittle off of this list before we're even into the top 10. 7 games we've got to find in here.
Man, it
So this is
feels
going to be
long.
interesting. Yeah. Okie doke. Dutch. Go on. What's the next one?
This is difficult.
He's thinking. Yeah, he's thinking.
This is very difficult.
I mean, you could always think, have you played them all? Because if
I
you
haven't
haven't
played-
played,
I haven't
a
played all
Metroid,
of
for
them, no.
instance,
I haven't
Yeah?
played all of them, but I'm only going to talk about the ones that I have played and let others make decisions on the others.
yeah,
And sort of
okay,
just put them
fair
in the not
point.
played pile. Oh dear me. Out of all of those games on the list, as much as I love Joe from Song of Iron, I have to put shout out for Song of Iron.
Okay.
Awesome game, awesome first specifically first developed game that he's done by himself. And he's doing wonders improving that game since its release. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in his future endeavors and future titles and expansions to this game. But I think obviously we all know it isn't a top 10 game, but it rightfully deserves a shout for the sheer determination and talent he's put into his first indie game as well. So definitely deserves a shout, but it is not top 10.
Okie doke. No, fair enough. I'm guessing it's not going to be saved. I'm sure he would. He'd probably agree with all of that, to be honest, mate. Yeah, we've still got some big hitters left to go. Okay, doesn't look like it's getting saved by anyone. So still Pucks, myself, and Archimedes left with a veto. Luke, we come to you next, my friend. What are you going to stick in the shout out tier or even the bin? Is there anything left that you haven't played?
I'm just looking. So yes, there's one game I haven't actually picked up, which is Far Cry 6.
Right. Interesting.
So I haven't played that, but again, I'll take the Dutch route, and I don't want to move that away. If someone else really loves it, I doubt that, but we never know. So
Thank you for saving my veto.
Oh God, your taste tonight has not been good. Archimedes. Far Cry 6 high up, Returnal low down. That's Bizarro world. Anyway, I will put. Oh God, it is really hard now. Actually, I know this has been here before, and I think it got vetoed out. But I'll put the Artful Escape.
Oh, it's going back in. Right.
If it can it go back in?
Yeah. The same person can't put it back in, but someone else can. But someone else can also use their veto if they want to save it. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Me, Pucks, or Archimedes.
Let me briefly think about saving it because I really loved that game.
I'm happy for it to be there.
Yeah, I think it's a great. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. And it really surprised me how much I enjoyed it. And in terms of like pure indies, I think it's probably top 5. But I just don't know if it touches top 10 of all the games of the year.
Yeah, throughout the year. No, that makes sense. And let's face it, there's some big first-party heavy hitters in there as well. So, yeah, okay. So, Archimedes, are you going to use your veto? I kind of feeling you might need that for something else a little bit further down the line.
Exactly. I was just counting how many do we have left.
We've got 6. We've got another 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's 5. We've got another 5 to whittle off before we're even.
Yeah, then I have to save it. I kind of have to.
You're going to save it?
No, my veto. I have to save my veto.
Oh,
so
yes,
I'll let it in there. Yeah.
I think that's wise. Sir.
Although
Excellent.
This one hurts me.
Yeah. Okay. No, fair enough. Chat, let us know if you vehemently disagree with anything we've stuck here, either in the bin, well, there's only one in the bin. There were 2.
Just notice we're all tactically vetoing at this moment in time.
Yeah. Well, you think this is bad? You wait till we're in the top 10, honestly. Right. Okay. Back to me. Now, I am going to choose a game I've not played. Okay. So that seems a little bit mean, but I've got to be honest, out of all the games on this list I have played, I really enjoyed. And I am going to base it on my perception of public kind of perception of this game. And not that it's a bad game at all. I'm sure it's fine. But I am going to put Scarlet Nexus in there, in the shout-out tier. I will give it credit where it's due. It's not my kind of game, if I'm honest. Visually and graphically, it looks brilliant. I know some people that really like it, but I don't think, like I say, taking my perception of people's kind of love for the game, I don't think it belongs in the top 10. So anyone want to challenge that at all?
I'm the same
if
as
I
you.
had
I've
a
not
veto
played
left,
it.
I would challenge it. Yes.
Wow. You'd save Scarlet Nexus with a veto.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Go on then. Tell us why you like Scarlet Nexus. Why would you do that?
I mean, the only part of that game that wasn't that needed removing or shortening was the tail end. I think Scott probably agrees with me on this. The I think it's second to last section of the game is just one long kind of hallway bit where you battle enemies, and that felt like a little bit of padding. But the entirety of the rest of the game was a very intriguing story. Nice weapon system, nice combat system, nice way of doing kind of the way that you upgrade your characters and get new equipment and armor and upgrade weapons. Very intriguing characters, good storylines. Obviously, it was a dual storyline as well, so you could choose two paths, either the female or the male, and they both actually had intertwining but different stories. So it was actually really, really good from start to finish. I was looking forward to it before I started playing it, but I played it start to finish without playing anything else at the time.
Okay.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. It would sit in my personal top 10 of the year.
Okay, well, Scott wants to use his veto on Scarlet Nexus, I'm guessing.
Just about to say, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll save it for Scott. We'll drag it back out for Scott, but I can't help feeling it might go back in there at some point. I can't put it back in, but someone else might have to. Okay, yeah, so Scott's veto is used. As you may or may not know, Scott can't be with us tonight. He's not feeling overly chipper, shall we say. So he's a bit poorly, so I hope you get well soon, mate. But thanks for being in the chat. We've got loads of chat going on. Fugly, Hoy, Museko, Pixel Slapper, fantastic, brilliant. Thanks for being here, everyone. And you guys will be the ones choosing the top 3. So when we finally get there. So we've got, that puts us back up to 5 games that we need to shave off of this list. And we're coming to you next, Pucks.
Well, okay, all the ones I have played here can't be moved. Okay. Because obviously we all love our own top 10s, right? So I'm going to have to pick a game which I haven't played, but I've never been a big fan of the series anyway. So this feels relatively easy for me, and that is Far Cry 6.
Ooh, okay.
I know a lot of people have love for this type of game, but I've never been able to. I say I haven't played it, so I know it's a bit controversial here, but I can't move anything else I have played because I like them too much. But I've never been a big fan of the Far Cry games.
Can I go on this one? I am not going to say Far Cry 6. I do like them as games, but I only like them from a very casual basis. I like to just jump in, shoot some people in the face, unfog another bit of the map by climbing a bloody tower, the typical Ubisoft format. I don't mind it in Far Cry games for some reason. I don't know why. I find it much more enjoyable than even in the Assassin's Creed games, to be honest. So I've not played Far Cry 6. I have never bought a Far Cry game that was kind of full price. I normally wait about 6 months until it's on sale. Then I buy it, play it, normally pretty much like it, and then move on. So that's kind of where I am with Far Cry, to be honest. Anyone want to say Far Cry?
Hating me right now.
I'm thinking about it. I actually thought it was a great game. I had a blast with it. I didn't like
the CD gun looks funny. I like that gun. The CD gun.
I actually didn't use that too much in the game, but the game itself, I really liked it. I liked the story. I liked the setting. I liked the sandbox. This was actually, I think, in my top 5 this year.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't.
Are you going to save it?
Because yeah, well.
I think there's something else
in the next round when we pick when we pick our top 10. Do I get another veto, or do I have to?
So when we're in the second phase of this game and we're all going through the top 10, we actually get another veto, and what that means is that game can't then go to that number. So let's say I put something like Halo Infinite in at number 10, and Luke vetoed it. That means it can't go back at number 10. It could go in at 9 if someone else picked it.
I got it.
So
I got it. All right. So. I'm really, really hoping no one is throwing Age of Empires out there, and with that, I take a veto here. Veto.
Oh,
Far Cry goes back.
Wow.
When did you print that off?
What do you think? I'm prepared. I'm prepared for the show.
Wow, that's a great idea. So you're going to use your veto and say Far Cry 6?
Yes.
Wow. I'm surprised. Okay, well, out it comes. Wow, we're back to 4 again. Are we back to 4? Is it 5? I can't remember now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've just got another 5 to choose. Crikey. Right. It's only me and Pucks with vetoes left now. Even Scott in the chat's used his. Dutch, come on.
Yeah.
What's next? What's going next?
Hey, did you skip me?
No, sorry.
I
Yes,
picked-
no, I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
I picked Far Cry. Yeah.
You
Sorry,
picked
sorry. Yeah,
okay.
Archimedes, sorry.
It is getting tough. I was thinking, do I do the same and choose a game I didn't play? So that could be Scarlet, that could be Metroid. Those are the two on the and Deathloop. I didn't play Deathloop either yet. So, but from since I have one game in there that I actually played and I don't think it deserves to be top 10, I'm going for Kenna, Bridge of Spirits.
Ooh,
That
man.
game started out really strong. When I started it, I thought, wow, beautiful. The mood was kind of like on that Zelda. I got the Zelda vibe and I really liked it. And then we had the difficulty spikes, and then the gameplay really became repetitive. And at the end, I was really dragging myself through it. So I think it deserves a shout out, but not a top 10 nomination.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're thinking about it. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I am thinking about it. I really like that game. I do agree.
Okay.
It went a bit soft in the middle. Graphically, it kept me entertained. I was so it blew me
was
away
a
graphically.
beautiful game.
Oh,
Beautiful,
and
yeah.
it was like the closest I've ever come to playing like a Pixar type game. It was really great. Am I going to save it? No, I'm not going to save it. Kina, I reluctantly put it in the shout out tier, but there it is. I will save my veto. I'm not sure what for. Yeah.
Well, there
Okay.
are quite a few good games left to get dropped into that shout out.
There are. There are. Okay. No, it's gone. It's in the shout out tier. Fantastic. Okay, Dutch. Yeah, where are we?
Again, I'm limited to the ones that I have played as opposed to the ones that I haven't played. I'm going to put Far Cry 6 into the shout out tier.
It goes back in.
Yes, it does.
Dude.
My reasons for this, and I understand Boxy. Obviously, you really enjoyed it. My reasons for this, I've played it, but I've played a lot of Ubisoft games over the last year or so now as well. And this Far Cry still, to me, outside of the story, I can understand people loving the new way that they've done the story, the new villain, etc. Compared to 5, it's obviously so much better, but that doesn't take much. But in terms of its the gameplay itself, it is still doesn't do much more than it ever has done in the series. Like, it hasn't stood above and beyond what the series has ever had to me.
Okay.
So it's a good game. It is a great game. It's probably in the shouts to be within the top 15 of the year, but certainly not the top 10.
That's kind of what the shout out tier is, isn't it? It's kind of 11 to 20, I suppose. It's kind of the next 10, I guess. Yeah. Okay, no, fair comment. And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that can't be saved. Well, not unless Pucks and I want to save it, and I don't particularly, if I'm honest. And
good,
you
thanks.
stuck it in there in the first place, didn't you? So yeah,
Exactly,
I don't suppose you
yeah.
do. So no, fair enough, Luke. Right, we are down to the last 3, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 3 left.
Yeah, pretty easy this one. So again, the bit I've played of it, I enjoys, but I didn't play in loads more of it, so I don't think I can give it any top 10 marks, and that's Scarlet Nexus. So that can go for the
It's
shout.
going back in. Right. Okie doke. Wow. So it comes to me to choose the last one before we're into the top 10. Well, Pucks,
Don't I have the
to
last
be
one?
honest, say again.
Don't I have the last
I
one?
think we have 2 more to go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, you're right. Yeah, sorry, we have 2. Yeah, you do.
Oh, it ends on me.
So-
Oh, man.
Okay, this is going to piss someone off. I know it is. only because I'm looking at everything else. And to be honest, I guess this is uh, a compliment to this game, the fact that it's going next, but only because it's up against some really stiff and tough competition. So I am going to have to stick Age of Empires 4 in the shout out tier. I'm afraid Archimedes.
No,
I
you can't do that to me.
I do acknowledge that you didn't want that
I
to be
made it
there,
from
but
the. No,
it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing.
no,
to
it
do.
isn't. No, it isn't.
is.
Not at all.
Right. Wow. Okay. Well, to be honest, that for me, I would not want to be in Puxley's shoes right now. I think I know what he's going to do, but
Do you? God, I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
okay. I thought one was perhaps more obvious than the others, but perhaps not then.
Well, again, we're in that kind of section of it's going to have to be something I haven't played, but equally, I'm thinking about everyone else on the panel that I know has played it and what their feelings are on
I
some
know
of
what
these
you're
different
doing.
ones.
I know where you're going.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to move Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
No.
I think.
Okay.
Hold on. Am I double?
No.
I might have to double take, or do I?
no, well, you've said it. It's too late. You've locked it in.
No,
I'm sorry.
I think I'm
I'll
happy
tell
with that.
you now.
I think I am happy with that.
Well, I will veto that. I have my veto, and I will be saving
Okay.
that from that list. I will put it in. I hope I have some way made up for that, Archimedes, my previous choice, by saving this. I hope that
A little bit.
somehow appeases
That
you.
means Archimedes gets another go, then, doesn't it?
Appeases you on some level. That means you get another. Oh, yeah. Now you can't put Returnal in because you've already tried that one, so it's going to have to be something else, and I do not envy that at all.
And I have my veto. Let's remember this.
Well, that's true. So it could actually be down to Dutch.
Okay.
Wow.
What do I choose? The last one. I have to choose a game I haven't played because all the others that I played definitely deserve to be in there. So it's either Deathloop or Metroid. And,
Now, I'm surprised Deathloop, that's the first mention of Deathloop that we've had so far. And I know it did really well in the nominations, but it's the first time anyone's mentioned it, and it's quite surprising that it's made it this far.
Yeah, true. It looks cool. I just thought, no, I'm going to wait for the Game Pass release because I had so many other games to play anyway at the time it came out, and I thought I'd just save the money and play it once it's free. But it definitely looks cool. And Metroid, yeah, I thought this is a wait for sale game, so I'm kind of picking this one to go in the shout out tier.
Metroid. Well, I know what's happening next.
Yeah, that's being vetoed back. 100%.
Wow. Dutch.
I use
Oh
my veto
God.
on it. Yeah.
Dutch. Right. Wow. So that's quite interesting because we've all actually used our vetoes now. I thought we were going to get to the end of this with some people not having used their vetoes, but it's back out. Now Dutch has the unenviable task of choosing a child to put in the shout out tier. Wow.
Put it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Seriously.
Whoa.
Straight back in.
You see what he's just done to you there, Pucks.
On the
Wow.
on the grand scheme of where we have come as a medium this year, Nintendo are not doing enough to stand above and beyond the competition.
Okay. Wow.
I think Metroid, and this isn't anything to do with Metroid as a franchise itself. This is more solely on what Nintendo are doing to prohibit the developers from actually making substantial gains with their games. If they provided the equipment that was capable of actually doing something that was going to substantially benefit each of these franchises, then these games would have been above and beyond what they are today. I think even from seeing Metroid, I have played a little bit of it, but not a lot. It didn't do enough for the franchise, in my opinion, to really stand out. It was a good game, but it wasn't top 10.
Wow. No.
Wow, indeed.
Wow.
Yeah.
He Dutch has just completely disrespected your veto there, Pucks.
I know.
And
I mean,
rightly so. Rightly so, by the sounds of it.
I mean, he's everyone's good for everyone has the right to their opinion. I completely disagree
Wow.
with it, but there we go. The word has been spoken. What can I say?
Dutch had a compelling argument. He didn't just pick anyone. He had a compelling argument as to why as well. So we'll go
Right,
with that.
that's fair
Wow.
enough.
So we are down to the last 10. Let me just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. And we're around to Luke. Before we move on to the second phase, and we all get a veto back at this point, and I will just briefly explain the rules. So
Does that include
we
Scott?
then could it include Scott? Yes, I guess it could. Would that make is that going to work with the numbers? I'm sure we can make it work with the numbers. Yeah, so we can include Scott on that one from the chat, perhaps. So perhaps Scott will go after Luke then, if that's the case. Luke, you will pick one that will go into the number 10 slot. If someone disagrees with that, they can veto it, and it can't go into the number 10 slot at that point. And then the next person, which after you would obviously be Scott, gets to choose a game. It can't be the game that's just been vetoed from number 10. So it's a way of forcing it up slightly higher in the rankings, as it were, if we need to. Before we do that, let's just shout out to the chat. Thank you very much, chat, for being here. Please get involved. We are giving away 2 lots of 3-month Game Pass Ultimate. All you need to do is just say hi in the chat, get your name known. We will be doing a random name generator from the names that we've collated. Are we on top with that, Puxley? I'm sure we are.
Yep, so far I've got Pixel Slapper, Back from the Dead, Mexico, Paul AFC, Judzilla Music, KTJ Gaming, and It's Timmy, and Fugly I need to add as well. Those are the names so far.
Hoy was on
my
there.
list. Oh, yep, sorry, I've missed one. Thank you.
Yeah, let's just make sure we got all of the names. And if you want to be in for a shout, just say hi. Don't be nervous. We're a friendly bunch. And then we move on to the second phase, and we're going to start with Luke on this one. And he's been looking at the screen. I can see the concentration lines. I can see the cogs whirring in his eyes. He's had the last 5 minutes to be choosing this. So let's go straight to Luke and see what he's going to put in number 10. So we've all got a veto back at this point.
Yeah, it's actually. I mean, this is really hard now. And there's a few games in here, I think, where they've ended, in my ranking, they've ended up a lot higher than I thought they would.
Okay.
Um,
That's interesting. Go on, just name a couple then. What is in this last list of 10 that you didn't expect to be there?
Well, at the start of the year, I wouldn't have expected Guardians to be anywhere near this.
But having played it,
it's pretty high for me. So,
okay.
I think, it's hard. Out of everything there, and I really loved this, and I think it's a really, really good game. I don't think it gets to the quality of some of the other stuff. And so I'd put Death's Door at 10.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That kind of makes sense, to be honest, and I would agree. I was a little bit disappointed with Death's Door. Again, perhaps it's not quite my game, and I did enjoy it, to be fair, and I know lots of other people enjoyed it a lot more than I did, but I think 10 feels about right for me. Does anyone want to save it from the number 10 spot?
So when I put it out my veto, it just goes back, or do I get to choose the?
No, if you veto
rank?
that, it goes back in the list, and then it moves on to the next person to put a number
Okay.
10 in. But they can't put Death's Door back in at number 10.
Okay.
So basically, whatever you veto will always be at least one higher, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's a way of forcing your particular game one higher.
Okay. No, then I save my veto.
Right, it's locked in. Wow, Death's Door is locked in at number 10. And to be honest, that feels about right to me. Dutch, Pucks, do you agree that's where it kind of should be?
In comparison to that monumental list we're left with, I think
Yeah.
Death's Door
Yeah.
definitely falls in at number 10.
Wow. Okay.
And I absolutely
that's
loved
fine.
Death's Door. Like, I 100%ed it in a couple of days. I loved it that much, but
Yeah,
Right, wow.
loved it as
it's
well.
some stiff competition here. So
Okay,
I
no,
agree
that's
with
fine. No, that's fine. There's justification behind it. I'm fine with that. Well, Scott, we are coming to you next. What game would you want to put in at number 9? So just let us obviously know in the chat. It's a tough list, isn't it? This is the tough bit, I thought obviously whittling it down to the 10 is tough, but it's where they go, isn't it? And I've played. There's only one game on there I haven't played actually, and that's Deathloop. And Returnal. I've not played Returnal.
I'm just trying to think of the games Scott maybe hasn't played, and those would maybe be the ones that would be next.
Scott's going to put Returnal in there.
You think?
Scott, what's going to go in the number 9 slot then for you? Scott, let us know in the chat.
Deathloop at number 9.
Deathloop at number 9. Okay. Now, that like I said, that appeared quite strongly at the Game Awards in terms of nominations and stuff. I've not played it. I know Luke certainly has. Is number 9 the right spot for Deathloop, do you think?
I don't know, is my honest answer, because I have played a few hours of it, but I don't think I've played enough to really know where it falls. So I'm quite comfortable with it being number 9, because I think in the amount I've played, it's excellent, and it does exceptionally well. But I think it gets better as the game goes along. But I can't give a comment on it. So
what stopped you from playing it to the end? Was it just what the other games were coming along, or did it just
yeah?
not hold
It was just everything else. It was just literally just everything else at the time. In fact, you know what it was? It was Guardians that took me away from it. So and I haven't gone back, because then by the time I'd got through Guardians, Horizon and Infinite were kind of taking my time. So I will go back to it, and I'll evaluate it probably over Christmas and see where it lands.
Well, I mean, both Returnal and Guardians were in the shout-out tier, and they've at least made it to number 8 on the list. So, interesting. Okay. So, yeah, Scott's had his go, so it comes back to me. So this is quite a tough one. Wow. This feels a little bit unfair. I've got a choice of 2. One I've played and one I haven't, which kind of gives the game away a little bit. I'm tossing up between Resident Evil Village for number 8 in the top 10. I mean, that's not a bad place, or Returnal. I think personally that Resident Evil Village, from the people I've spoken to that have played at least both, have spoken more about Resident Evil Village. I think that is more in the gaming psyche than perhaps Returnal. I don't know if that's correct or fair to say, but I will nominate Returnal for number 8 on that list. Now, obviously, Luke, you have a veto if you want it to go at least to number 7, but...
Yeah, I'm going to veto it, because I want it to be as high up as possible. Yeah, I know it's not going to get to number 1, but as long as it gets, I'm pretty happy it's top 10.
Veto.
Yeah, tactical veto. Incidentally, I have completed both of those games, and well, I love them both, but I love Returnal more. So.
All right. Okay. Well, I can't possibly love Returnal more. Not that I wouldn't if I wasn't to play it. I just not played it. So I went for the easy option. I'll be honest. I went for the soft option there. I went for the one that I haven't played. So, Puxley, you can't put Returnal in, but you can put any of the others in.
I think this one's a relatively easy one for me. I think I'm going to have to put Guardians of the Galaxy in.
Oh, really? Have you played it?
I haven't, but this is the thing. The other ones that I have played... And from what I've seen of Guardians, it's not a completely blank. I have seen gameplay and all that kind of stuff around it as well. And it looks like the kind of game I would like, but I just don't think, again, with what we're up against here, I just don't think
the problem is that game does not come across properly when you just watch a bit gameplay or something. It is the entire writing, the humor in between the characters, the music at the right moment, and everything.
Are you gonna veto? Are you gonna veto?
Kind of sounds like it. I mean,
I think it deserves to be higher than that. I really do.
I really do.
I called this game this game Choose Your Children, because we are at a point now, because I've got a veto I could use on that, because I really like this game. But when I'm looking at the others, when I'm looking at my other children, which are the ones at the bottom of the list, I actually like those as much as I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I actually love some of those more, and I want to save my veto. So I'm not going to save that personally.
Well,
but
no,
if someone else wants
Archimedes has already vetoed it. He's already vetoed it.
I vetoed.
Right,
I vetoed.
Fantastic.
I vetoed
Wow.
it. It was. I said it on my Game of the Year show. It was the biggest surprise this year for me, because I was kind of like Puxley. Yeah, it looks good, not great. and then I bought it in the Black Friday sale, and I
Me
was
too.
completely blown away. I totally regret not buying it day one. It was amazing.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm probably about 3/4 of the way through, and I absolutely love it. It's a brilliant game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So that now looks like that can't be Returnal or Guardians of the Galaxy at number 8. So, wow. We are burning through our vetoes. So, Archimedes, over to you.
So I can't put Returnal in there, right?
Nope.
um. All right. Then I think I have to pick Resident Evil Village
Yep.
from the ones that are left.
I think that's
Um,
correct, actually.
yeah, it was really good. A lot better than 7. I
Okay.
had my issues with 7, but this one I really enjoyed. I like the story. I like the what's the English word I'm looking for? How tense it felt.
Yeah,
It
the
was really
atmosphere
good.
was quite good.
I
Yeah.
just think outside of Returnal, which deserves to be in the bin and not in his list, I think all the other games should be higher than Resident Evil.
Right. Okay. No, I liked Resident Evil. Was we surprised it won the voice actor, isn't it? Margot. I can't remember her name. She was very
Maggie
good,
Robertson.
actually.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Sorry, and Lady Dimitrescu or something. Yeah, I can't remember.
Lady Dimitrescu. Yeah,
Yeah, fantastic
yeah.
character. Probably not in the game enough. Actually, I was surprised at how soon she exited the game. Spoiler alert. But yeah, what a fantastic character and well voiced. So that feels about right to me. I'm certainly not going to be
Yeah.
saving it from there. Anyone else disagree with Resident Evil?
I
8
think
being 8.
I would. I would, I would have put it higher, but I only like top 5, maybe 5.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought it was fantastic, really, really fantastic. But yeah, I'm not vehemently against it being 8.
No, fair enough. Excellent. Okay, that's number 8 sorted. So, Dutch.
It's an
What's going to
easier
be
one for
number
me out
7?
of. No,
Go
it's
on.
an easier one. It's an easier one for me out of all these because I'm looking at games that do things a little bit differently. And Ratchet and Clank does not do enough different to stand out from its predecessor. Um, I loved Ratchet and Clank, the previous one before this. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, however, I don't think did enough to stand above and beyond that. It looked equally as pretty as the previous game. Both of them are fantastic in terms of visual for like the stand, how they look, how they present. The gameplay feels tremendous. But in Rift Apart, the thing that let it down for me specifically was the rifts that were advertised weren't quite as as what it
Not
kind
quite
of
as
game changing as
advertised.
it
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
game changing as they made out it originally
Yeah.
was
I
going to
agree.
be. It was more either little set piece moments or okay, they'd appear behind an enemy at a set time to be able to get behind them and then do an attack, and that was about it. Um, it wasn't like just use it at any point in time to go anywhere around anything. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank. It feels out of all of those in terms of what it does differently for its gameplay, compared to the rest, which have really excelled. I think Ratchet and Clank fits pretty snug at 7.
Yeah, I kind of agree. For me, graphically very pretty, color palette fantastic. I loved its choice of options with regards to performance versus quality versus ray tracing, all of that. For me, it's kind of the second game that I show people the PlayStation 5 controller with after Astro's Playroom. That's normally the one I show people to get them hooked on how this controller works and feels. And then Ratchet and Clank is the only game after that I think that's come close to producing something like that. So, but I kind of agree at 7. Luke, what's your take?
I'd put it higher again. It's
Would you?
probably
Yeah, me
top
too.
3, top 4 for me. I get, I think I get the rationale to some extent. A rationale I may use on another game shortly. But yeah, no, I mean, I absolutely loved it, and I think I totally get the idea of the rifts. I think they were more not constrained, but they use them more liberally, I think, for effect
Yeah.
in the campaign. And not that they weren't super impressive, because they are, and they're really cool. But actually, because it's such a great thing, I would have liked more of it in the game. More of those kind of moments. But start to finish, I just loved it. It was one of my favorite games this year.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't disagree with the rationale. So
No, fair enough. Well, funny enough, it's you up next as well, to be honest. So you're getting to choose the number 6 slot. So anything that
Nice.
leaps out of you, because it's surely
Yeah,
getting quite tight now, isn't it?
it's pretty tough. Yeah. So they're all great. But I am I am going to
Oh.
piggyback off that rationale. And I love this, and I'm still playing it, and it's brilliant. But I'm going to put Horizon 5 at number 6.
I knew you were going
Wow.
to say that.
Because
But
I
at
mean,
the same time, I was going to say at the same time, Luke, I also agree.
yeah,
In
Yeah, I
as
do as
much
well.
as from a gameplay perspective, it doesn't do loads to stand out from the previous one. From the world perspective, however, obviously that's where it differentiates, because
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
compared to dreary old UK, where it's
Yeah.
the same kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
scenery, the
yeah.
entire map. Of course, on Horizon 5, we had quite a number of different biomes, and you could
Yeah,
actually make
definitely.
use of the different cars properly. Um, that's really the standout thing. Of course, the graphical fidelity and things like that we can all write home about. It is obviously a graphical showcase. It is a phenomenal looking game. It performs of how you would expect a playground game to perform at this point in time. It is phenomenal. But yeah, I would agree also on that logic. The same that I
Wow.
used for Ratchet. That it
Okay.
doesn't
So I
doesn't
mean, we've
massively
got
stand above.
me, Pucks, Dutch, and Scott all have a veto left, and we've only got was it 5 games left? So I kind of agree. No, I kind of agree. It was more of the same. Not more of the same isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like
Yep.
you say, when you see what's left, they were quite innovative, I think, in lots of ways. Whereas perhaps, like you say, Forza Horizon 5 wasn't. So for me, probably deserves the 6th place spot, I think. So okay, we're back to me, aren't we? Oh,
Can I just add? Sorry.
go on.
Scott has said if he's got another pick, he would put Guardians at 5.
Oh, sorry, he does have a pick.
Your
actually, of
discretion.
course.
Your discretion.
That's a fair point.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he does have a pick because he was coming after Luke, and Guardians at 5, and that to me feels about right, if I'm honest. Any pushback on that at all? Any vetoes flying in?
I would, if I had a veto.
Would you?
I would. I would.
Wow.
Yeah, I probably would. Again, it's really high up for me.
Agreed.
I think it's higher than 5, but I think it's a testament to how good that game is that it could get this high in a list. After, I mean, bearing in mind, I saw that game the first time I saw that game, and I knew that they were, and I remember seeing the trailer. The proper reveal trailer, and I just thought it looked bad. Like I genuinely thought it looked really bad. So the turnaround that has done in my brain is incredible.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. From the ones that are left in here, I think it deserves to be in the top 3, to be honest.
yeah. No,
I was going to say I haven't played Guardians as yet. It's one of the games that I need to get to. But if it's anything like the positive feedback that I've heard continuously for It Takes Two, before I had a chance to play that pretty much to its entirety yesterday, then I completely expect that to live up to the hype that everybody has advised me of. It's not just one or two people. Everyone that's played that game has loved it. But I wouldn't stand and veto that either. I think 5 is probably the right place for it as it stands, without playing it myself. And what is remaining based on the previous logic I've used, doing things differently and really going above and beyond and taking things different directions, I think. Yeah.
Got a question to Luke from Scott.
Yeah.
Who says, would you pick Returnal over Guardians? That was my choice. I love the other 3 games, so I had to pick one of the other 2.
Does he
And I
mean
think,
would I pick it?
and I think based on your passion for Returnal, I couldn't pick that.
Yeah,
Well, he
I
picked
wouldn't.
Guardians because he wanted Returnal higher.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick it over Returnal, but the fact that it's even close is very positive for that game. I mean, genuinely, I don't think, in terms of my enjoyment of both, I don't think there's that big of a gap between them.
Well, it looks like it falls to me to actually pick the top three, or what's left of the top three, because I get to pick one of those four, and obviously the last three sit in the top three, which our chat are then actually going to place. And in the event of a draw, we get to decide between us where we think it should be. So I am going to do what Scott said he wasn't going to do, and I will put Returnal at number 4. I respect your love for it, Luke, and that's absolutely fine. And I do hope to play it someday. And to be honest, mate, it went in at number 10 and it survived all the way up to number 4. In fact, it went in a shout out tier at one point. So
it's the ultimate Rocky story, right? that was down and out. That wasn't even top 10. Now look at it.
From zero to hero.
Zero to hero.
Okay, so unless Pucks or Dutch or Scott want to veto that, that's probably where it will stay. Which basically leaves. Basically leaves Halo Infinite, probably no surprise. Psychonauts 2, probably no surprise, and It Takes Two, probably no surprise. And to be honest, I'm really pleased with how we've come to those three, because I think those three, me personally, would have probably been my top 3 pick anyway. And I just love the way how we've chipped away. We've just ended up with those 3 in the top 3 anyway. So,
well,
Pucks.
I would have exchanged It Takes Two with Age of Empires.
Ah, well, that's interesting. I'll tell you what, Pucks, have that conversation with Archimedes, because what I will be doing in the meantime is putting the polls up in the chat, and we've had some new people with a Gamers Watch just jump in, and Retro Nerd. Welcome, chaps, or chapesses even. Thanks for being here. Like I say, we are giving away 2 lots of 3-month Game Pass Ultimate Awards, so all you've got to be is in the chat, and we'll pick a couple of names from the random name generator, and I'm going to put up some polls now for you guys to choose what your top 3 should be. So, sorry, Archimedes, what was you saying? What would you swap for what?
Yeah, I would swap It Takes Two with Age of Empires, and then I would have my top 3. Not that It Takes Two is a bad game. I would have put it probably on place 4. But Age of Empires is unrightfully in the shout-out tier. This is one of the best games this year. And I actually, for me, it's kind of a tie with Psychonauts 2 for Game of the Year. It's Age of Empires 4 is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They modernized the classic formula from H2. They added so much with the campaign and the little documentaries and everything, and the game is just so addictive. This or Psychonauts 2 is my game of the year. So
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on, Pucks, over to you.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, based on that, assuming that was the case, I would then probably still swap out Age of Empires and put Metroid Dread back in.
Which one would you take out of these 3 then?
It
also
Takes Two. I would still replace. I think. Yeah, I don't think that's much of a. There's no competition for me, at least. Arguably, I have to admit, I haven't played It Takes Two, but I've seen a lot of good things about it. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it definitely looks like something I know that I would absolutely love. But I did play A Way Out, so I know it's completely different. But I believe I can kind of think similarly to how it would play out based on having played A Way Out. Sorry, but
I think you're being for a shock when you play It Takes Two.
Yeah, Yeah, because I mean, it
I could
wasn't
well be, yeah.
up until recently. It wasn't even like anywhere near. Obviously, I hadn't played it, and it wasn't even near in the thinking for me for my top three. And my top two of the year were Halo Infinite, well, and Psychonauts as a joint number one because I couldn't split them for different reasons. They're both vastly different games. Obviously, how can you compare a first-person shooter with Psychonauts? They are different games entirely, so I couldn't split them. They were my joint top one. But It Takes Two went swiftly, and having played it yesterday, swiftly into my number two spot for game of the year. It is from start to finish. The mechanics on each level change. It never gets old because each level's different. Yeah, you use different mechanics to get around the place. The levels are always changing up. It felt very much a lot like a co-op Psychonauts kind of feel. And it's strange to say that because Psychonauts, of course, every level you went in was different and it required different thinking to get around the places and they were all constructed differently. And it was exactly the same in It Takes Two. Like the level layouts and the aesthetics and designs and everything for each level is entirely different for every level. And you get new techniques, new weapons and abilities for every level you play. You don't retain the previous ones; you get new ones to learn to be able, and then you have to kind of figure out how to use them and combine forces with each other to kind of get around the place. It was just such a well done game. Um, Honestly, I think like Luke said, it will shock you when you play it. I think compared to A Way Out.
I think I've just
So
seen,
just
yeah,
just quickly, yeah, we've got
go on.
should It Takes Two be in first, second, or third place? We've only had 9 votes, and we've got 3 votes in each at the moment, which makes it slightly awkward. We've got 23 people listening. Please have a look at the vote. Go into the chat. Vote where you think It Takes Two should be cast in our top 3. Should it be third, second, or first place? So please get your votes in. Panel as well, GPG panel. Stick your votes in as well if you're able to. It's open to everyone. So yeah, where do we? We'll keep it open for another minute or so, and then we'll move on to the next game until we've got all 3, and then hopefully we will be able to decide first, second, and place from that. And in the case of a tie, we would decide between us.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Godzilla Music has also said he thought the same as me, but then he played it with his brother and says actually it was absolutely amazing, mirroring what you guys have said. So, and Scott equally has said, "Yeah, mate, you've got to play it. It's seriously amazing." So, I mean, what I have said, I think it's like definitely a game my wife and I would love to play together, but I just need to pick up a second controller, and then I know we'd both love to jump in. So, I think that's my plan over the Christmas season.
It's funny because out of the 3 that are left, I would actually put It Takes Two at number 1. So,
Oh wow!
I think
I wouldn't disagree with
the-
anybody's opinion that would say that either, to be honest, because all 3 of them they are so hard to tear apart. Like it is phenomenal.
Yeah,
what surprised me about that is that because we know you as being a hardcore Halo fan. So what is it about Halo that maybe didn't do it for you to make It Takes Two take the crown for you?
Yeah, I don't think it's what Halo didn't do. I think it's what It Takes Two did do.
Oh right, wow,
okay.
that's high praise indeed. Wow.
Yeah, I think Infinite's, and I've not completed the campaign yet because I haven't had the time, but I have played a good number of hours, and it's fantastic. And obviously, everyone knows how good the multiplayer is, which is just amazing. And Psychonauts 2, I've not completed it, but I've gone through a lot. But I mean, I guess if you just look like, I mean, I think with It Takes Two is that it's a bit like the Guardian thing, right? Where it's surprising how good it is, and I expected it to be good because Hazelight are really really good developers, and A Way Out was a really cool concept that was a really good game, and then It Takes Two, like there's never a moment where that game becomes a chore or boring, and I think it goes to what Dutch is, which is that it is so inventive in how it completely changes your expectations of what's coming next and how you'll play the game. Almost no games do that, right? Almost every game has a very set of a very clear set defined mechanic structure throughout the game, and it doesn't really change. There are kind of additions to it and alterations, etc. But there are basically no games that go, oh, you were just playing like a 3D platformer. Well, also this next section's actually a full-on fighting game. So it's like that. And I don't really want to spoil a lot of it because it kind of takes
Luke,
away from.
I was going to say, Luke, as you were mentioning, one section is a full-on fighting game. There was one section that was more of a Diablo-esque section.
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
all like
Yeah, I did not
isometric.
expect this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just that sort of thing that, because I think in even games like Infinite, right? In the campaign, the gameplay's phenomenal, but there are times where it's kind of like, oh yeah, well, it's just kind of the same thing, and the loop is fantastic. And Psychonauts does it kind of goes to It Takes Two level with some stuff, but it doesn't do it on the same scale, I think, that It Takes Two does. So it's just a wonderfully creative, imaginative game that's just a blast. It's just a joy to play, and yeah, I think that's why it would pip out. It's really hard. They're all fantastic games, and I think as Dutch said, I wouldn't disagree with any ranking of the three, because they're all great and they all have their cases to be game of the year material. I mean, they're not Returnal, but what it is.
I'll tell you what, look, when I play Returnal, it better be one of the best bloody games I've ever
You'll
played.
be disappointed now, but then you'll be wrong. So,
fantastic. Well, we've got the vote for Psychonauts 2 up at this moment in time. We've had 11 votes so far. Again, if you're listening in the chat, please get involved. You've only got to hit the vote button to let us know. We've got 20 people listening. Please, and again, panel as well, make sure you get your votes in for where you think Psychonauts 2 should be, first, second, or third place. At the moment, it's quite strongly voted into first place, but we've not had Halo voted on yet. So that's going to be interesting just to see where this all ends up.
That, are we not sorting the vote from this, or are we still going to be putting a Halo poll up?
No, Halo poll comes next. Can only do one at a time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So yeah, it would be nice to get all three done at the same time, but you can only do one poll at a time on YouTube.
How are we going to determine then the order for 1, 2, 3?
Just number of votes where people want to place it, so the number of votes for each first, second, or third.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm making a note of what's going on. Okay, Doug. Well, we'll be closing Psychonauts 2 momentarily. There was a new Tim Schafer game. Well, I say new. There is an old Tim Schafer game that's just recently landed in Game Pass. I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. Can anyone else remember? What's recently hit?
Tell you in 2 seconds.
Yeah, what's recently hit into Game Pass?
Not ringing any bells with me, I'm afraid.
Right, I'm just about to close the vote on Psychonauts 2. Wow, it's not quite where I thought it was going to be. So, excellent.
Interesting. It is very strong in first place for Psychonauts from the chat.
Well, let's see where Halo's going to be then. Well, like I say, in the event of a draw, we will have the final say.
In the meantime, when would you like to do the competition wheel for the two?
Should we do it now? Is that worth doing now? Yeah.
Do you want me to share my tab or screen, whatever, so we can see the wheel spin? Or
yeah, if you want.
See if I can get this to work. Hopefully it does. So hopefully you can see a list of names.
It was Broken Age.
Broken Age, that's it. Thank you. Yes. Has anyone played Broken Age?
Not as yet, but
No.
with it being Tim Schafer, there's no doubt I like it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love all of those games, like going back all the way through to Monkey Island's one of my most favorite series of all time, and I just wish one of these days they'll bring that back. Honestly, wish.
Right.
Sorry, but before I spin the wheel, I'm just seeing a few new names pop up. If anyone else has spotted anything, please let me know. I'm just seeing Emily Martin's also just joined us, so that puts you on the list. So far we've got Pixel Slapper, Back from the Dead, Maidco, Paul AFC, Godzilla Music, KTJ Gaming, It's Timmy, Fugly, Hoy, Gamers Watch, Retro Nerd, and Emily Martin are in the running for one of 2 Game Pass Ultimate codes. Any more till we close it out, perhaps? Or when would you like me to spin the wheel?
Black Eyed Dog. Is Black Eyed Dog on there? He's in the chat.
No, let me add that right now. Sorry about that. So let's add that on as well. I suppose maybe one more minute or two, just so that the video goes through to those listening, and then I can start to spin if you're happy. So just to reiterate, I guess, for those who may be new to joining in, we're giving away one of 2. We're giving away 2 Game Pass Ultimate codes, courtesy of BMG. Is that right, Flat?
Yes. Thank you.
So thank you very much, BMG, for that.
Yep, absolutely.
So as you can see on the screen, all you have to do is put in a comment in the chat, and I shall capture your name and put it in this list, and then we'll all watch together, see the wheel spin, and if your name comes up, you will be getting an Ultimate code.
Puxley, I would shuffle the thing because both Black Eyed Dog and Pixel Slapper are both blue, so it's going to be quite hard to differentiate who that lands on, if it does land on any of them.
Yeah, will it tell us? Will it actually come up with a name, do you think?
There is a line. Right. I don't know if you can see it through the video.
We can't see it. We can't see it.
Oh, I can press shuffle a couple of times. Oh, no, it puts 2 blues
keep
together.
Doing the same thing. Oh, well.
Okay, we need one more name.
On screen anyway, so never mind.
Anyone know anyone that wants a potential code? Get him in the chat.
One of you?
Okay, Flapper, I'm not seeing any more names. So are we ready to spin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool,
Let's do it.
Let me smash shuffle a couple more. Oh, let's sort them first. Smash shuffle, make it really random. And here we go. Code number 1 is going to...
Pixel Slapper.
Pixel Slapper!
Fantastic. Well done.
Congratulations. So what's the rules? How are we going to get the code to them, Flapper? Send us a DM, is it, on Twitter?
Yeah, send us a DM on Twitter, and I will get you the code ASAP. Fantastic.
Let's remove you from the list. Make sure you're gone. Yes, you are. I'll smash shuffle a couple more times.
Stubbs Gaming's in chat as well, by the way.
Oh, have they just joined?
Yeah,
Yep.
Stubbs has just joined. Let's get Stubbs in just quickly.
Okay. That was just in time. We're just about to do our last giveaway. Any more names, people, or am I ready to go?
Go for it.
Let's do it. We're locked in. And the last and final code before the Christmas is... Fugly! Congratulations, Fugly. You've won our second code, courtesy of BMG. Congratulations.
Fantastic, Fugly. Okay, doke. Excellent. Okay, well, I'm just going to crunch some numbers. So again, Pux, if you can just carry on for a second, and I will come up with
I've stopped showing my screen.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. I can do that. Here we go. I think I'm nearly there.
Cool. Okay. So I guess, guys, what do you reckon should be your 1, 2, 3 out of the votes in? Like, regardless of votes. Let's start with you, Archimedes. If you get to pick,
yeah, what's your 1,
2, 3?
Psychonauts 2 on 1, Halo on 2, and It Takes Two on 3. I just think Psychonauts 2 was so brilliant. I loved the humor, I loved the creativity in the level design, the art direction, the story was just amazing. Just a fun game. I didn't expect the game to be on that kind of quality level. It just stuck with me. Halo was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. There's really nothing really bad to say about Halo. It was an absolutely fantastic game. I loved the story. I love the open world, the new gameplay elements with the grappling hook, fantastic. There's really nothing bad to say about it, but I don't know, it just didn't stick with me the same way like Psychonauts did, and that's why I gotta give it to Psychonauts 2, and on place
That's not
3
out
it
yet, that one.
takes it takes 2. I haven't finished it yet. I'm playing it actually with my wife right now. It's super. It's a great game, super creative. Maybe I would put it higher once I finished it, but as of right now, it's for me out of these on place 3.
Okay.
That's cool. How about you, Dutch? What would you put 1, 2, 3 if you got to choose?
If I had to be, if I was at gunpoint and I was told to put these in order because it's difficult, Psychonauts 2 would be number one, 100%. Just overall the way they did the story with regards not just mental health, but the way they approached it, and many different difficult topics. The world design, the writing, the story, the music, the creativity was just sublime. Second would go to It Takes Two. And last but not least, it would be, and in no way, like I say, least Halo. With both, like I say, It Takes Two, I'm onto the final chapter, but I can vehemently say that all of those 6 chapters that we played through pretty much back to back last night were phenomenal, and every one of them was, like I say, it was different. It was no at no point in time was it just the same stuff over and over again, because it changes every time, which was just really great. It keeps you very interested. The story's really nice. Halo, like you say, it is by far the best from 343, if not one of the best Halos made. It is definitely the best gameplay Halo in the franchise, without shadow of a doubt. The way it feels, the way it plays, the way the guns handle, the sounds, of course, phenomenal. The campaign was great. I've put the best part of 6+ days into Halo Infinite.
Wow.
94% completion on the campaign, including most of the collectibles, etc. But when it comes to things that are probably going to stick with me the longest, both Psychonauts 2 and It Takes Two, on the storytelling and creativity front, are just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So, number 1 to Psychonauts, number 2 to It Takes Two, and number 3 to Halo.
Fair
Right,
enough.
go on in.
Flap, have we got time to go to Luke quickly?
Yeah, let's just do look quickly if we can, because the results are in.
Yeah.
So
That's cool,
Go
yeah.
on then.
Yeah, I think as I said, I'd put It Takes Two at number 1, and then I'd probably have Halo Infinite in 2 and Psychonauts 3, but that could change after I finish Psychonauts 2 and the campaign for Halo Infinite. So, and to be honest, even number 1 could change. It depends on how those campaigns wrap up. But yeah, they're all terrific games.
Excellent. Well, the results are in, so we can now reveal what the community, the GPG community, have actually voted into the third, second, and first slot after us whittling all of this year's games down. There were a few omissions. Sable wasn't on there. We nearly didn't have Resident Evil Village and things like that actually made it in the top 10, so thank God we got that in time. But here we go, and in reverse order, we have... Anyone want to take a guess what's in third place?
It Takes Two.
I'm thinking maybe Halo Infinite, but I didn't see the scores earlier.
It Takes Two goes into third place.
Fair enough.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought that was going to be higher. And this is just based on the number of votes per first, second, or third vote that we put in there. So, second. What goes second on this list, as voted by the GPG community?
Halo.
I think it's
I
Halo.
think Halo.
It is Halo, exactly. Well done.
Nice.
Well, wow.
Hey.
That leaves Psychonauts 2 in the number 1 slot in the GPG top 10 countdown for the games of 2021. And I don't think that's a bad list, you know. I don't think that's a bad list.
I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, this has turned out really well, I think.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there will be
If
people
you-
out there sort of spitting blood that Halo wasn't first, perhaps, or It Takes Two wasn't first, or that it wasn't second and stuff. But I think we've done this the right way. We've whittled it down. We've reasoned every game why it's where we put it is. We've had the vetoes. We've had the what's the word? We've kind of averaged out our opinions, and we've even put it to as many people as we can in the GPG Crew chat, and that's where it's landed. So that's our top 10. We've got quite a few in the shout out tier and one in the bin. In fact, we had to create the bin tier especially for Luke, who requested it for one particular game, sat there in the bottom of the bin all on its own, waiting for some company that I don't think is coming. So 12 minutes, if any of the devs are watching this. Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you. That's been really enjoyable. I've really enjoyed this. This kind of wraps up GPG's 2021, the year. It's less than a week till Christmas. It's our holiday Christmas special show. We've had some great guests on tonight. I've really enjoyed doing this. The chat have been phenomenal. We've given away a couple of 3-month Game Pass Ultimate codes. Let's just do a very quick round of people, and we'll start with you, Luke, if we can reverse order. Thanks for being here. Hope you're looking forward to Christmas. Hope you've enjoyed your year with the GPG Crew. We've been through some things. We did the what did we do? We did the Halo tournament. We've played online together. We've played some games. We've done some cool things this year. I hope you've had a good time. And is it kind of where you expected this chart to be?
Yeah, no, agreed. I think we had a great time this year. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to more, but looking forward to rest. Lots of rest over Christmas.
Yes.
And then, the chart, I mean, like I said, it's not got Returnal at 1, so it's wrong. But if you take that out of the equation, I think it's about right. Like I think it's been a good year for games, particularly coming off the back of ongoing COVID troubles in game development. To get this kind of list of games and this quality has been fantastic. So and it's probably one of the best periods of gaming this year that there's been for quite a while. Actually, it's been really strong. I think I think people can disagree, that top 10 and even games outside of it, and that's a testament to the strength of the games that are released this year. But I think they're all that top 10 deserve to be there, I think.
No, fantastic, and thank you for being part of this journey. And it is a testament to how fantastic this year is. And we had Pong Soul on recently, and hashtag Golden Age of Gaming. He was pushing that mantra quite strongly, but he's absolutely right. And 2022 promises to be just as powerful in terms of gaming as some of the fantastic things that we've got coming along. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wandering Dutch, thank you so much, my friend, for being here. I can't believe you're still firing on all of your synapses, your brain's still working, and you're not slumped on your desk fast asleep, my friend. Congratulations for yesterday. Fantastic calls. You did really well. And funnily enough, I happened to tune in at the point where you were playing It Takes Two. And I'm so pleased that you did actually choose that game, because it's a fantastic game and it's not boring in any way, and probably was quite refreshing to just, like you say, every level is something different. And no, congratulations, my friend. Thanks for being here. Hope you've had a good year yourself. Just very quickly, tell us about your channel. I can't believe a single person listening to this isn't aware of your work, but just in case, where can they find you?
Definitely, no. Massive thank you to you guys. It's awesome to see you grow as well. Just obviously, we've pretty much been side by side over this last year or so, in terms of where our channels were created and how far we've come. And you're just a cat's whisker away from hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark, and it's absolutely awesome to see. And hopefully that's just around the corner. It'd be absolutely awesome for you guys to hit that 1K mark and get up there. And you well deserve it. It's a really great show. You've got really good chemistry, and I obviously love tuning into you guys every week as well. But no, it's of course, like you mentioned on that stream, one of the great things to see when we were playing It Takes Two was how many people that hadn't played it were watching it and were going, "I need to play this game. This looks so fun." And I think most of them are just having now plans to go over the Christmas break and play it with either loved ones or their kids or something like that. So that's awesome to see from it as well. But I want to give a massive shout out to both yourself and obviously the amazing community that helped us smash through that target as well last night. Phenomenal.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you for being here. And as soon as this show's over, I think you probably need to hit the sack and get some very well deserved sleep. You'll probably sleep well tonight, my friend.
Yeah, most
Excellent.
definitely.
Archimedes, thank you. Obviously, one of the staples of Wandering Dutch's midweek gaming show, and obviously on people like Boom and things like that. And of course, you do your own videos. In fact, you had a quite successful video not so long ago featuring the aforementioned Boom, Mav, Dutch. Thank you for being here, my friend. Your channel has smashed through the 1,000 mark and beyond, and it's great to see. And 2,000, where are you up to now? You're beyond 2,000, I believe.
4.5.
4.5.
Right
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
My God. Wow. That's some fantastic progress.
I can't believe that either.
Yeah. No. And to be honest, that's very well deserved. Very high quality
Thank you.
videos, and you always come in on topics that no one else really seems to either cover whatsoever, or come in at an angle that no one else really considers. And I think that's to your credit. And obviously, you've got a fantastic following. Wow, I didn't realize you was up that far. So that's fantastic. Thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you've had a good year of gaming. Did you enjoy yourself?
I had a blast. It was that show that was an amazing idea. I really loved it. That is something unique. I haven't seen it done on other shows. Really cool. I had a blast. Thanks so much for the invite. It's always fun to be on your show. I really appreciate what you guys do. You have very insightful discussions about gaming, about the industry, and everything here. I always enjoy being here, enjoy listening. And I'm glad to see that you're close to that 1K mark. You definitely deserve it.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll get there at some point. But, we just have fun doing what we do. If the numbers follow that, then brilliant. It's nice to know that what we do is appreciated by people. And we've got such a fantastic community that always share the love and always make the voices known, particularly in the chat. So I absolutely appreciate that. And thank you for being part of that, Archimedes. Puxley, we've had quite a year. Like I say, we made it to the final of the Halo tournament, which is pretty cool. We got absolutely smashed in the final. I don't think there is any polite way of putting that. I think we probably got rinsed by some pros, if I'm honest. It felt like it if we didn't. But we got an absolute pasting. But we'll hold our hands up to that. I'm quite proud we made it to the final, to be honest. So
I think we did it quite unexpectedly as well, didn't we? So that was kind of a nice surprise for us as well.
You beat us along the way, so
yeah. I think a second or third along. Yeah, to be honest, each one I was just like, it's just like, I was thinking, but each one I was so glad to have made it to that stage and would have gone out happy at that point. So to make it to the final was an absolute bonus.
I'd love to get another tournament set up in Halo Infinite and get that rematch.
Absolutely, yeah. Cool. We've got a couple of our own semi-pros. One of them on the panel as we speak. The other one in the chat. So Pux and I we'll just hide behind Luke and Scott, to be honest. But no, Pux, what a year! Thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you've had a good year. Hope you're looking forward to Christmas and a well-deserved break coming up.
No, I am definitely. As you was talking a minute ago, it just got me thinking. We've been doing this we started in July of 2019?
18 months. Yeah, 18 months.
It's pretty crazy. And then, kind of went from just being, two family members doing it for fun to, kind of slowly building a community, meeting other podcasters, content creators, and even meeting people online and stuff that we now consider friends of ourselves, and two of those have become part of, we're not just a twosome anymore, there's four of us as part of our regular GPG crew now. And it's so great to have Luke and Scott and everyone else, and hope that, it's great that everyone loves being here and taking part. And I'm looking forward to doing more of this and growing, and looking forward to the new games and everything else that's to come in 2021. So, no, I think it's been fantastic, and I can't wait to looking forward to the future, and hope everyone has a good Christmas. But no, thank you very much for your continued love and support. It's very much appreciated.
No, absolutely mimic that. Yeah, one thing that's always sort of pointed out about the GPG channel is the community that kind of follows us around, and the supporters and stuff that we get in the chat, the regulars, some new faces and stuff. And it's always great to interact with people, because we don't always get things right. You guys challenge us, you throw grenades, they land at our feet, and sometimes we have to throw them back, and sometimes we have to jump on them. But it's always fun, it's always pleasure. Like I say, we do have a Christmas break coming up, so the GPG podcast will be offline for at least the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye on Twitter, and we'll tell you some of the exciting things that we've got planned for the new year. Just like to thank everyone for their love and support. Like I say, over the last 12, if not 18 months, it's been a fantastic journey. We've loved every step of the way. I have my stupid Xbox Christmas jumper on. I've just disappeared into a Christmas tree. As you can probably see, got the Xbox logo. That's how sad I am. Like I say, it only comes out kind of for the special shows and stuff. But it's been fantastic. Absolutely love everyone. Thank you, panel, for being here. Thank you, chat. Hope you all have a fantastic and safe Christmas. Please enjoy any gaming that you have. Like I say, stay safe in this uncertain world. And like I say, if you can keep an eye on Twitter, we will let you know when we're back in the flow of things. We've got a few other different kind of shows and ideas lined up, and hopefully we'll continue to entertain well into next year. So thank you for being here, everyone. Have a good Christmas, and we'll see you on the next one.